everybody. I'm Derek Hudson. Welcome to Inside Leesburg. In this edition, we'd like to take an up-close look at Juneteenth, which happens to be the oldest celebration that commemorates the ending of slavery in the United States. And today, I'd like to welcome our guest, and please join me in welcoming our guest, Laverne Montez. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you're with the West Leesburg Community Development Corporation,
yes.
Correct? CDC for short.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us about the CDC, and also we'll be talking also about Juneteenth, but you're doing something special with the DC that has to do with Juneteenth. So tell me what the CDC is and what Juneteenth is about.
Well, the West Leesburg CDC is the Community Development Corporation, and we work in side by side with the Leesburg CRA through the city of Leesburg. And we do redevelopment, housing for seniors, just keeping the area clean, rebuilding, tearing down old dilapidated houses, rebuilding new homes for new people to come and move in. Right now, our big project is we're working on is a resource center for the neighborhood. We got that approved, and it's going to be getting built shortly, I'm hoping.
Okay.
So with that, we do a lot of free activities for the kids and the adults, try and do something, if not maybe 3 or 4 times a year, we try and do something with the kids. But the Juneteenth is one of our bigger events that we do, and this is our 13th annual one that we're having this year. And it was brought to us by Mary Rawl and her son, Rodney Wiggins. He was a big advocate for it and advocate for us starting to do it. So we started out small, and then it's slowly grown. But because it's kind of got a little stagnant, we wanted to change it up and do it a little bit more excitement. So it's a 2-day event, June 24th and 25th. And on June 24th, we have a Miss Juneteenth pageant. And I've solicited some young girls from the high school to participate in it, and we have 3 girls that have decided to run for it. And what we do is we have like a little program that we go through, you know, invocation, all of that, some singing and dancing, some dramatic reading that coincides with Juneteenth. And then we turn it over to Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, who actually provide a $500 scholarship for the young lady that wins. So they do that part of the program towards the end of it. And then on Saturday, which we started out doing a picnic in the park for Juneteenth, this year we're kind of switching it up, and we're going into, we're going to have a parade, a little short parade on Beecher Street, and then from 11 to 2 we have a kids carnival, and we're going to have about 15 to 16 different games for the kids to play, and some little trinkets that they can win if they, you know, play. And we're going to do it like an actual carnival. They have to win the prize. And we're providing food. Everything for the kids carnival is free. We don't charge anything.
That's
for
on
that.
Saturday.
That's on Saturday.
June 25th. So a pageant on June the 24th.
Yes.
And then a carnival and also a parade on June 25th.
Now, along with that, because we're kind of making it big, from 2 to 6 we have a classic car show. So we're going to have some cars come out, and we're going to do a President's Award. There's 3 that I think they're giving out, and we've raised money to give those prizes out to the people who we select. And then from 4 to 7 we're having an adult event where no kids are involved, because we'll have adult beverages and things served for that, so we don't want the little children out there for that. And that's where Mr. Blackman is going to be playing his different selections.
Okay, and you mentioned a musical guest. This would be Bobby Blackman.
Beautiful Bobby Blackman, yes.
So instead of BB, it's BBB.
Yes.
Not Better Business Bureau.
No.
Not Brother BB King, but BBB, Beautiful Bobby Blackman.
Beautiful Bobby Blackman.
He's a guitarist, correct?
Yes.
Blues
and he has
guitarist.
a band that he's going to be bringing with him as well.
It's a B3?
B3.
Kind of as in Hammond B3? Okay. Now, you're with the CDC. You're the vice president of the West Leesburg CDC, correct? And what brought you into the organization? What does that mean to you?
Well, to me, for me in the area that I live in, West Leesburg CDC incorporates Carver Heights, Woodland Park, and Mount Clair Village. And I had my home built here because I was going to school here and working on this side, so I had my home built here. And I met Agnes Berry, who was the original president for West Leesburg CDC, and she got me involved in coming in to volunteer and stuff, and I've volunteered since I've lived in Leesburg with them. And then I just got into this role as vice president, which is a huge responsibility because, you know, you got to make a lot of decisions for the betterment of the community. And I like to think that I'm making a positive change getting to know the kids at the school and some of their families, and hopefully we can help correct some of the issues that are going on in the area and making it a better area for people to want to move into.
Now, you mentioned school. Now, you yourself, you're an educator yourself,
Yes.
right? I guess by vocation. So what you're doing in the CDC, the West Leesburg Community Development Corporation, you're actually also tying that in with what you do as a teacher.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, how's that working?
It's working pretty good. We actually, for the Kids Carnival, I've got some kids that have volunteered to come out and run the games for the younger kids that'll be coming that day.
High
So
schoolers.
my goal this year was to build some relationships with the kids, and I think I've done a pretty good job with that. So they'll be coming out and helping run the games for the kids during the carnival, and in turn we'll give them volunteer hours that they can use for college or whatever community service goals they have.
Well, that's really outstanding that you yourself, I mean, you're doing a positive activities for the city, impacting people on two sides, one with the CDC, then also as a teacher. Tell me about the historical piece of this event. What does it mean to the community when we look at Juneteenth as a historical piece? My understanding is that it was 1865, June 19th, I think 1865, that I believe was it Texas?
It was Texas, yes.
It was in Texas that it all began. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that was, I think it was a couple of years after President Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation, and they didn't find out until 2 or 3 years later that they were actually free.
In Texas?
In Texas, yes. And then Alzo Reddick, who was a congressman, that was one of his things, was to get it acknowledged in the state of Florida, which he was able to do. So we celebrate that now here as a day of freedom for African American people. And my thought for the community in Leesburg is just getting them to understand what people had to do to get the freedom. And my goal for West Leesburg CDC is to have people understand that they're free and to free their minds from what they're locked into and to be able to grow from there.
So the message would be anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Future's bright. There's light at the end of every tunnel.
Light, I want them to see that light, where a lot of the kids that I work with specifically don't see that light at the end of the tunnel, and I want them to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. They just have to want to get to the end.
Well, Laverne, thank you so much for being here. We are so looking forward to this year's event. You don't want to miss this year's Juneteenth event, 24th of June, 25th of June, right here in your hometown, our hometown. For more information, log on to westleesburg.org. And when we come back, you're going to like this. Guitarist, beautiful Bobby Blackman.
Oh, girl. You're gonna be sorry someday.